So your beer probably has PFAS, the toxic forever chemical, in it. There was a study that just came out showing that there was a direct correlation between the amount of PFAS in local water supplies and the amount in the beer that was also brewed in those areas. The researchers went out and tested a lot of different kinds of light craft beers from different locations across the country. Every single beer that they tested had at least one PFAS, and then of course the places that had higher PFAS contamination had far higher levels of PFAS. Now, so PFAS are known as the toxic forever chemical. Most people are probably familiar with Teflon. That's one type of PFAS, but there's over 10,000 different kinds. They make things non-stick and waterproof. They are linked to bladder cancer, testicular cancer, kidney cancer. And one of the bad things about PFAS is that they never break down in the environment. So once they're put there, they're going to stay there. The only safe level is 0, unfortunately. And so researchers wanted to see what kind of impact this might have on beer, right? They also wanted to see if there was anything within the beer making process that put more PFAS into that beer. So what's good is they found there's nothing within the beer brewing process that actually put more PFAS into that beverage. Fabulous. What is not good is that there is not a practice of filtering water before brewing beer. Unfortunately, the area that had the worst PFAS contamination from this study, and one of the worst in the world, is in North Carolina. Such a bad PFAS contamination problem in North Carolina that the UN Human Rights Council was actually called in for an investigation. Now, this could easily be solved if a brewery decided to filter their water. Approximately 18% of the breweries operating in the United States are located within zip codes served by public water supplies with detectable PFAS in the drinking water. The researchers in the study did find that international beers were less likely to have detectable PFAS, or if they did have PFAS, they were not in very high levels, and that's because of the lower amounts of PFAS contamination in other parts of the world. In areas with known contamination, beers from microbreweries, so these are big beer brewing companies, they were less likely to have detectable PFAS versus craft beers, right? Brewed at a very small scale, potentially due to more effective and expensive filtration of tap water at larger breweries. The two beers with the largest number of different PFAS detected were both located in the upper regions of the Cape Fear River Basin in Chatham and Alamance counties. They didn't go into the brand names of the beer. However, I'm going to put the list behind me, and some of them, you can figure them out. Certainly so they tested ones from North Carolina, from Michigan, Colorado, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and California. So if you live in one of these areas, please, I encourage you to reach out to those microbreweries and ask them if they're filtering their water. If not, that is something that they can try and do. The amount of PFAS were very minor compared to the amount that you would get in your drinking water, right? Because it's the same drinking water, and obviously you probably drink more water than you do beer. So again, this is why we need our tap water to not have PFAS in it, right?